Why is it so confusing? I just want to save a little bit more on taxes.
If that's ever been you, I might have the solution. I'm Grady Cool, CEO of Cool Wealth Management. Today I'm going to be explaining what the Roth Backdoor is, when to use it, and how to not get lost in the details. A Roth Backdoor is a way for high-income earners to get their money into a Roth type account. Typically, if you make more than $150,000 per year, you can't stick money into a Roth IRA. Some people who make a lot of money find this quite frustrating. So instead, they stick money into a traditional IRA. In fact, you can take this a step further. Any pre-tax retirement account, such as a SEP IRA, 401k, or 403b, can be rolled over into a traditional IRA. Then you can convert this into a Roth IRA. You do have to pay the income taxes typically involved when you go from a pre-tax account to a post-tax account. There's even an extension of a Roth Backdoor where you take a mega conversion, where you're not just filling the employee side of a 401k, you do the employer side as well. This is a little bit easier when you own your own business, but this allows you, instead of putting $23,000 away, you could put in $70,000. With the money already in the 401k, you then get to take it and roll over the entire thing into an IRA. Then you would make the conversion. The reason that Roth 401ks aren't talked about more is they've only been available since roughly 2006, and they haven't really started gaining as much popularity even since then. There's only some places that even have them available. A lot of 401ks, it's just not an option. So you have to ask your employer or your provider to be able to see if it's possible. The other tricky part is that Roth 401ks, it's only the employee side that can go into the Roth side. Anything on the employer side has to be traditional. So if you're getting matching on the money you're putting in, that's actually still going to be on the traditional side. So you're going to have like two different accounts within your 401k. You also need to consider, what do you expect to happen with your tax bracket? If you expect the typical path of I earn money, I'm earning more money towards the end of my career, and then I retire, and then I'm going to be living off less than I was towards the end of my career, great. Then your tax bracket should drop when you get into retirement, and a traditional type 401k or IRA can work great. It really depends on what your circumstances are. Traditional IRA or a 401k type pre-tax account is a fantastic option if it helps you lower your tax bracket, and the money's going to come out and you're going to be in a lower tax bracket when it does. If that's not the case, then a Roth is a fantastic option because it provides much more of a tax deduction. Before you jump into a traditional or a Roth, you also need to consider what is going on with the rest of your portfolio. If you already have means of lowering your income tax bracket, such as using an HSA, business expenses, or real estate if you're an active investor, then maybe traditional isn't going to be as helpful as a Roth might be. If you already are bringing your tax bracket down from paying 37% down to 22%, then yeah, the extra going from 22% down to 17% because you maxed out the traditional side of your 401k, not as helpful as maybe the Roth might have been. What you are doing overall is a big piece, and it's much more important to take that holistic look and figure out what is the balance between this traditional means and this Roth means through a backdoor to get the best decision. One last point I will give, how you feel about tax bracket risk can make a big difference. Once something is in a Roth account, you know you aren't paying taxes anymore, and you can feel comfortable knowing this is the amount of money that I have. Given how politics can go, tax brackets can change over time. If the max right now is at 37% and it goes up to 50% in the future, or even on the flip side, what if it goes down? That's a variable that we have to account for. So if you use a traditional 401k or IRA and you feel comfortable with the tax benefits, that's great, but there's a certain amount of variability that's going to come with that compared to using something like a backdoor to get it into a Roth. It's not that anyone is any better than the other, it's about knowing what works for you. Let me know down in the comment section, are you guys going to use a Roth backdoor, and if so, is it a big part of your portfolio or just a little bit? Other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!